Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Another week, another episode. This is Stats Over Politics. As always, I'm your host, Shaun. I apologize if I sound like shit right now when it comes to the audio. Having a bit of technical difficulties today for those of you who may be watching on YouTube, X, or Instagram. You see this mic right in front of me, and the cord is connected. Everything is like normal, but for whatever reason, it doesn't want to work. But that's life. As always, I'm your host, Shaun Holko. Yeah. I'm gonna get this intro in. I'm gonna get us to our first segment, and then I'm gonna tinker some more. But the show has to go on. The show must start. It's 7 o'clock on a Monday night here in Sacramento, California, for three of us, and for Kevin up in Oregon. But you heard Gary Singh's voice. Jaevon is also joining us, as well as Mr. Kevin Dent. The squad is reunited here on episode number 99 of Stats Over Politics. And you heard that right, episode number 99, which means episode number 100. It's next Monday, June 10th, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure that you join us, especially next week. But we appreciate you for joining us right now. And Gary, since you're the only one who's unmuted right now, how are you doing, brother?
I am good, my boys. Glad that we get everyone on today. I know we all have crazy schedules, so when we can get the four of us together, it's always magical. So I can't wait till we hit the little greatness bar today. And yeah, we got NBA Finals set up, ready to go. We got Von's team versus the Dallas Mavericks, who haven't been there since they beat Braun in the championships. Negative talk on Braun right there for y'all. So Kevin, get happy. And yeah, man, what else? I got an NBA shirt on, ready to last little segment of basketball right here to watch. It's going to be great. We got some other good news for our Kings organization, and yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, Jaevon, how are you feeling about your Celtics playing in the NBA Finals, which start on Thursday?
Feeling great. Feeling even better. Shout out to the Yankees yesterday. Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, you demon. Oh, boy. I'm not a baseball guy, but starting to get into it. I'm starting to get that itch because old football's obviously gone. UFL been in that heavy. UFL's about to end. Obviously, NFL doesn't start for another couple months. College football's kind of around the corner. Hockey. Shout out to the Edmonton Oilers yesterday. Got a semi-rich. It was a good weekend. Good weekend. A lot of great things happened over the weekend. But the Yankees, 2 days in a row, they were a gold mine for those. If you would have had $10,000 to gamble. Now, I'm not one of those guys, but I'm saying if you would have had that, you would have been very happy, especially after yesterday. But yeah, it was a very good weekend. As far as the Celtics go, we're locked into that. And shout to Ev. We do have a wager on the series. And
Benjamins?
This is 300 Benjamins.
Okay, you mean 3 Benjamins, right? You're not.
Yeah, 3 Benjamins. My bad.
I was about to say, okay. No laugh, 300?
But
episode 99, Aaron Donald episode.
He called me every day, and he said, "I'm going to call you every day until game 1 to set an intimidation factor." That's what he calls it. So he calls me every day to let me know that I'm in
trouble.
But I'm excited. I'm excited going into the series, and I'm pretty sure we'll get into what's going to look like, what's going to go down. With the next couple of days, we'll probably get a bunch of quotes from everybody like, "Oh, they said this and that," because we got a couple of days, so there's always a quote or two out there that people are like, "Well, he said this," and it'll be going on for the next couple of days. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like we're going to do a full NBA Finals preview on today's episode, as we mentioned last week when we were nearing the end of each conference final series. Last week, obviously, the Celtics had swept, but the Mavericks still needed one more game to ultimately get past Wes's Timberwolves. And with that, we give a shout out to Wes. Thank you. Yep, and the Wolves, I can still confidently say the Wolves are back, so congratulations to them on a great season, but their season has come to an end. Yeah, and so we will get to a full finals preview. Who would have thought Jaevon is the MLB and hockey savant, but he certainly is. And Kevin, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. Happy to be back.
Grill Master Kevin.
The Grill Master Kevin, yeah, man. I've been throwing down. I told you guys about that, I think, 2 episodes ago, and I've been grilling ever since, man. The weather's getting nice, so it's my turn to start doing the cooking. So I love to throw on there. I'm just now getting started. So we threw down some oysters the other day.
Ooh.
So, getting in my bag a little bit, not too much. So
what will it take for one of the listeners to get a plate from Kev?
You gotta get on I-5. Come see me.
Man, I gotta have Kevin throw down for us one of these times that he comes back to Sacramento. Maybe episode 150 or something like that. But episode number 99. I'm happy to be here with you guys, and let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. As the Sacramento Kings and Coach Mike Brown agreed to a contract extension this past week, some of us were doubting. Kevin, we had to talk him off the ledge a little bit, where he was saying, if we don't extend Coach Mike Brown, you won't see me wearing purple anymore. Thankfully, that didn't happen, as Mike Brown and the Sacramento Kings did agree to a contract extension, as Adrian Wojnarowski broke the news on the night of May 31st, as he says, Sacramento Kings coach Mike Brown has agreed to a new contract that takes him through the 2026-27 season. His agent tells ESPN, as we know, Brown was the 2022-23 NBA Coach of the Year, and he now gets a new deal with a significant raise. And so, Kevin, I'm gonna toss it to you first, and then we'll just go around. We'll go from Kevin to Garry to Jaevon on the panel. We'll start with the Kings fans. No offense, Jaevon, but we'll go around the panel. I'll be muted for a while as I try to fix my technical difficulties. I'll probably make a quick trip to the bathroom as well. But Kevin, what was your reaction when you found out the news about Mike Brown and the Sacramento Kings agreeing to a contract extension?
Oh, man, I was excited. We saw Ty Lue get, I think, a 5-year, $70 million. So I was like, oh, shit, now we really got to show the bag. I know Ty Lue's a championship coach and Mike Brown isn't, but he's coming off a Coach of the Year, ended a 16-year drought.
Mike Brown been in the finals before.
Yeah, but you didn't win. I mean, he's like the Niners, right? They just go for the gear.
With the Warriors.
Yeah, but I guess, but it doesn't count if it's assistant. You don't get the payment of a championship head coach if you're the assistant. So we saw Ty Lue get that extension, and I did tell the group chat, this might be it. It's been 26 long, hard years of being a Kings fan. We finally got a sniff of the top of the conference, and they were talking about bringing our coach back, and I was gonna have to be a free agent. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was worried. I was shaking in my boots. All my friends are texting me saying it's falling apart. And I was like, yep, if this doesn't happen, Sabonis is gone, Fox is not resigning, Monk's not coming back, and next thing you know, we're hoping for the number 1 pick, Cooper Flag. So I'm happy Vlade spent some money. It was much deserved. Coach, like Shaun mentioned, he was Coach of the Year to the playoffs. He's changed the whole culture. And as Kings fan, as Shaun and Garry know, we have had a musical chairs of head coaches. So to finally get some stability. I know that's one thing that Boogie really always mentions when he talks about the Kings. There's really no stability. There's always a new talking head. So for Mike Brown to continue to be there through 28, 27, however many years. So he's going to be the next couple of years. So I'm really looking forward to Mike Brown being here. But Garry, what were your thoughts on the Mike Brown extension?
To be honest with you, I think you guys all hit it on the money. I think this was a foregone conclusion. I think, pretty sure if you're a Kings fan, if you didn't want that or you didn't want him to be the head coach, like you say, you shouldn't even be a Kings fan no more because that man literally took us out of the dirt of 20 years, literally. Took us to the playoffs and literally brought a whole new culture, whole new leadership, whole new everything to Sacramento Kings organization, about respect, about the whole nine. And, you know, not everyone probably thought that was going to happen or people were iffy or whatever they thought before. But he's really proving them wrong at the end of the day. Like, to be honest with you, if you're a Kings fan, if you don't like Mike Brown, I don't know what's wrong with you because literally the way he talks to the media, it's so enthusiastic, trying to explain everything, the way he has love for the fans, always shouting them out, the love for the city he always gives to Sacramento State, the schools around. Like, he's really just been A1 since day one on our team and been like the perfect leader for his Kings organization that everyone respects from Fox and Sabonis. And so this is well-deserved, as he should. And, yeah, I think it was, like I just said, well-deserved, and I'm really happy that he's going to be here for a long time. And like you said, Kev, we got some consistency finally, which is always great if you're a franchise. All the best franchises got consistency. You see Eric Spoelstra there, Steve Kerr. You can go to football with Bill Belichick, even with you guys' Niner coach now, and Shanahan. Like, there's been coaches that are great. They might not win championships every single year and this, that, and the third. But when you know you got someone who changes the culture, respects and demands everyone to be at a certain level and knows how to win, why wouldn't you want to extend that person, especially if you haven't been the most on the winning side of franchise the last 20 years. So I'm glad to see Mike Brown stay here and keep the train rolling, the beam beaming.
But before we throw it to Toddy, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a full sleeve and I have the water tower, but I was this close to getting the Kings logo. And I was like, dude, like, if we fucking get shipped off to Mexico and I'm just stuck with this tattoo of misery, because it was before the playoffs. This was the year before the playoffs. And I was like, it went down to the very last minute, so I went to my consultation and I got both. And I was like, yeah, let's go water tower, just to be safe. You know, I don't want us to be the New Mexico Kings in a little bit or the Las Vegas Kings. So now that we finally got some stability, I'm kind of mad I didn't get it. But Ty,
you can still get it. You can still get it, brother.
I still could, yeah, but I have to figure out how I'm going to all do it. But moving on to the Sacramento native that is a East Coast Boston Celtic fan, what were your thoughts on the Mike Brown extension?
Well deserved. I mean, like Kev already mentioned, this was a guy who kind of came in and changed the culture. You're looking at it from a standpoint of a team who's missed the playoffs for 16 odd-on years or however many years it was, basically since I was a child. And, you know, now kind of, getting a new arena and just the whole city has kind of changed its beat. Just because of that Sacramento Kings are, you know, up in Florida. Like, you could just tell, like, it's a little bit more lively downtown. Like, people, just the city itself has a little bit more of an upbeat to it because the Kings are more competitive. And it just brings a lot more business, a lot more commerce to the city itself. And I feel like the signing of Mike Brown has, a lot to do with changing the culture. And obviously Fox and Sabonis goes, into that as well. You could say the regime is starting to, get a little bit more stability with, keeping a coach because, as Kevin already mentioned, DeMarcus Cousins has said in several interviews, podcasts, that's basically been a revolving door with the front office. And that was kind of under the old regime and a little bit of the new regime now. But I feel like now it's getting a little bit more stable, with having a star player in De'Aaron Fox and having a running mate in Sabonis. And I feel like it starts at the top, and they made the right decision for sure. And you have a guy in Monty McNair in the front office, and I feel like a lot of people trust him to make the right decision, as Shaun usually always says, in Monty we trust. So I think this signing or re-signing of Mike Brown was the right thing to do. And I don't know if this contract puts him as one of the top highest paid coaches in the league. Maybe he's like top 10, top 5, maybe.
They gave fucking Monty the bag.
Monty Williams got like $18 million. Yeah, so he's probably got this has to make him. He should definitely be more of a higher paid coach than Monty right now. based off of recency bias. But you got to be glad that this got done, because God knows what would happen if Mike Brown doesn't get re-signed. I feel like there would be kind of a pitchforks, as Kevin already mentioned. He'd be ready to not be a Sacramento Kings fan. So this was a huge deal for the Kings to re-sign Mike Brown.
All right, y'all. I'm back. Still haven't fixed my mic. Toddy, you and I both bought the same mics on Amazon. Oh, do I sound way better?
Yes.
Okay, well,
sound good.
Okay, that's good to hear. That I'm right now. I'm talking on the microphone that's through my Mac laptop, and so
just speak loud.
I got you. Yeah, right. That's not very hard for me. But yeah, earlier I was talking with the microphone through my headphones, and so I was going to do a quick test run, but I'm glad to hear that this is different. So I'll rock with this for the rest of the show, and I appreciate Kevin for holding it
Episode
down, hosting for us right there. But just the really quick backstory that I wanted to share is that before Jaevon and I started Shaun and Vaughn on the Be Heard platform, RIP, in 2020, we got the same microphones on Amazon, and I've been using this same microphone. It's traveled with me to various places, and I've had this microphone for almost 4 years. Seems like I'm about to say RIP. Toddy's looks perfect. I was the one trying to fix Toddy's like a year ago, and now his looks perfect. Mine won't even. I think the cord might be broken. I don't know, but technical difficulties. We appreciate you all for dealing with me there. But just to close out this Mike Brown segment, Kevin mentioned earlier how like there was a revolving door of head coaches, and Boogie Cousins and Rudy Gay and plenty of other former players. Basketball hell. That's what he told George Karl. Welcome to basketball hell. And so there's been plenty of Kings players that should have been here longer if there were an actual foundation. That's why I continue to say in Monty we trust, because Monty, before he hired Mike Brown, showed with his very first draft pick getting Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, Halliburton dropped. Circumstances helped him. But for him to get Halliburton with his first draft pick, and then to have the hindsight to know, yeah, that he was my first draft pick means a lot, but he gone because we getting ourselves an all-star center. And that's why in Monty we trust. And the thing that worried me was that Vivek was going to get cheap. Like, it wasn't so much what was going on with Monty. I was concerned about Vivek trying to, like, haggle and, like, pay $1 million less per year or whatever. But the deal got done. Kings coach Mike Brown gets a $4 million raise to $8.5 million for this upcoming season. That was left on his deal, and then he has $8.5 million annually for the next 2 seasons. So Mike Brown will be in Sacramento for at least the next 3 years, Kevin.
So, Toddy, I looked it up. He is the 8th highest coach. Can you guys guess the 7 ahead of him?
Monty Williams, Ty Lue. Those are the easy ones.
Is Ime in there?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mike Budenholzer.
Yep.
J-Kid.
Nope. You guys are missing 3.
Steve Kerr.
Greg Popovich, Eric Spoelstra.
Greg Popovich, Eric Spoelstra. There's one more.
Yeah, that's 6. Yeah.
Not
Mike
Mike
Malone.
Brown. Nope.
Is it a bad team or a good team?
It's a good team, and you guys know this
is
coach.
Is it Celtics coach?
Mm-mm.
No. It's not Mike Malone. Chris Finch.
Mm-mm.
I don't think it's somebody. Steve Kerr? Did we say Steve Kerr?
Yeah,
We already said the big ones with Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich.
You probably guys haven't guessed this yet.
Has he won a championship?
Hold on. Nope. Nick Nurse.
It's not Nick Nurse. I'll give everybody one more guess.
Damn, you named everyone in the league, goddammit.
It feels like we have.
Chauncey Billups?
Not Chauncey.
Hold on.
Thibodeau.
You got one final guess?
Oh, no. I'm just going over now.
Ooh, wait. Thibodeau.
No.
Well, that's my
All right, Todd, it's all on you.
Who got a lot of money to pay?
Like we've said, I feel like I don't want to re-say a name that we already said. We already said, obviously, Mike Brown. Is it? Doc Rivers?
Yes, sir, Doc Rivers.
That was like, damn,
how did nobody guess Doc Rivers?
It was the mid-season.
That's mid-season. I can't believe he got that big of a bad mid-season too.
Yeah. Yeah, so Steve Kerr's at 17.5, Greg's at 16, Eric's at 15, Ty Lue's at 14, Monty's at 13.1, Doc Rivers and Mike Bodenholzer at 10, and like Shaun mentioned, Mike Brown's at 8.5.
Oh, Steve Kerr's the highest paid?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He makes twice as much as Mike Brown. 17.5 million. Mike Brown, and that's after Mike Brown got a raise. Like,
go ahead, Shaun.
Go ahead, Toddy. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, Kev, can you read off the
numbers of the list?
The numbers of both, like who's on
both. Okay, so we have Steve Kerr at 17.5. We have Greg Popovich at 16. We have Eric Spoelstra, at 15. We have Ty Lue at 14. Monty Williams at 13.1. Doc and Mike Bodenholzer at 10. And then we have Mike at 8.5.
Jay Kidd's probably going to get a raise.
Here he did.
He already did, but they got to pay Luka and Kyrie. They got to pay big time.
Oh, Jay on the salary cap.
No, exactly, Toddy. Yeah. Toddy, you just read my mind. It doesn't factor in it.
No,
it factors in for Mark Cuban's overall pocketbook, but as far as the actual salary cap,
it's not his anymore, I think.
That's a great point, Gary. He did technically sell a majority stake, but yet he still now keeps control of the whole basketball operation. So he literally Mark Cuban continues to make all the amazing deals out there.
Rest in peace, Shark Tank.
It's like treat me like an owner still, and I get to be on the game.
Shark Tank actually came to an end.
Yeah, Shark Tank. I think that they're going to shoot its last season. Like either this is the last season.
Wow! I thought it was going to go on for like another 15 years, but they
did it for like 15. I felt like, man, they did.
I know. Well, they do all the charitable stuff, and like during one of the charitable segments in this past season, I can't remember the dude's name. He usually sits on the very far end, white guy, short hair. Anyways, he was saying like Kevin. No, not Kevin. Kevin isn't Kevin bald?
Kevin's the bald one.
I'm like, what?
Kevin is.
What you trying to say?
That's Mr. Wonderful. But anyways, regardless, one of the Sharks said like, "Oh, I want to do this for another 15 years."
Okay, so what do you guys think Jason Kidd makes a year on his brand new contract?
$8 million. $8 million.
8 on the head. So Mike Brown got 0.5 more.
Yeah, Jay Kidd's getting a raise.
He just got that raise.
He just got a raise.
He's gonna get another one.
Let me see when he signed.
I mean, he just got like a month ago.
It's fresh. He just got a new.
Maz is gonna get a raise too.
Who?
Yeah. He said Maz as in Missoula. He's using his Celtics. Fan nickname that nobody else has. I mean, I heard Maz and it came out of Toddy's mouth, so I was like, yeah, it's probably Missoula. Before we move on to our next topic here on episode number 99 of Stats Over Politics, Shaun Holko alongside Jaevon, Toddy, Gary Singh, Kevin Dent. We have a comment from.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I thought so.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't really have time to plan a Shaun's Pop quiz, so don't expect one today. I would rather talk about Caitlin Clark and what's been going on with her than a Shaun's Pop quiz for this week. However, we all plan to be there next week, so expect Shaun's Pop quiz for episode number 100. Anywho, before we move on here on episode number 99, I wanted to get to a couple of YouTube comments from Mr. Kevin Dent Sr. as he says, he has been big grilling lately. Oysters certainly are fancy. And he says, Niners joke, really? Did the Kings make the playoffs this year? Hey, come on. You're coming after me now. Like, they're both my teams.
Wait, Kev, who's your dad's basketball team?
He doesn't have a team. He just watches.
He doesn't have basketball. He just likes to hate.
Yeah, but way back when he said, if I'm going to pick a team, it was going to be the Thunder, and then they got really, really good. So he's like, well, if you want me to pick a team, I'll go with the Thunder. But, yeah, he doesn't really have a team.
Well, we are going to get to our NBA Finals preview after this next topic. However, Kevin Dent Sr. says Dallas in 6. Toddy, you can respond to that in about 20 to 30 minutes. Guys,
take my take.
We just talked about one contract extension in the NBA. Now we have a contract extension in the NFL, and this one came down today, being this morning, Monday, June 3rd, and that is that the Minnesota Vikings extended wide receiver Justin Jefferson, an All-Pro, for 4 years, $140 million. And so, Toddy, I'm going to toss it to you first on this one. What did you think about Jetta getting paid, specifically to how it relates to our ongoing discussion that'll never end, that BA, a.k.a. Brandon Ayuk, ultimately will have to get paid by the 49ers. But just what was your reaction to Jetta getting paid? Because obviously it was well-deserved.
I thought that it was, it was well-deserved. And I feel like it was just a matter of when it was going to happen. I never thought that the number was crazy, because I think we can all say he's arguably like top 2. So I thought that this would be a record-setting contract. He's basically getting low-end quarterback money, which is unheard of at the receiver range. But just, the boom of the NFL with, advertisement with, gambling and, the TV prices or the TV deals that they keep getting, the salary cap keeps going up and up, and with the collective bargaining, the salary cap is just going to keep increasing and increasing, which with every new collective bargaining agreement. So that kind of you'll start to see these insane contracts that will almost get to NBA-like contracts. You'll see these 140s going to, receivers. And we saw Nick Bosa become the highest paid non-quarterback ever last year with his contract extension in the offseason, which happened during training camp. Hint, hint. But I wasn't really shocked that he's the highest paid receiver in the league. I think we'll start to see now, like, maybe Tyreek Hill's deal gets reworked. Devontae Adams' deal might get reworked because you got guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown making more than him. And obviously, I think a lot of people can attest that Devontae Adams is still one of the best receivers in the league. But I just think it's just the new market. I saw some things about, like, Jamar and CeeDee Lamb. I don't think CeeDee Lamb's getting this contract. I feel like he's going to get something maybe close to it, but I don't think he's getting like there. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's getting this record-setting type of contract. Although CeeDee Lamb had a career year last year, I don't know if he's getting that. I feel like the person who would get something similar to this would be Jamar Chase. Now, and I don't even know if Jamar is going to get this type of contract, but I feel like he'll get something close to it. I feel like this is more of an outlier contract, if that makes sense, because he is like what the market is right now. He's one of those new, fresher batch of receivers from a couple of years ago when the Eagles could have selected Justin Jefferson, but they decided to choose Jalen Reagor. This is from that draft class, so just
salt in the wound.
You guys got.
I mean, honestly, bro, it all worked out. If we would have never got AJ, I would have still been pissed. But it all kind of worked out.
I don't think that Kevin would say they would pay AJ Brown this type of money. I feel like this is a one-of-one type of deal with him being like he could be like one of the greatest receivers ever. Like, he's on that type of pace. Like, he was on pace. I think he broke Randy Moss's like rookie record, which is insane. So it's like, this is kind of he is the standard. This is how much, like, I feel like this is what the cap would be for what a top receiver will look like. Now, Jerry Jones said he's going all in. I don't know what all in means, but they've literally gotten worse in the offseason. I don't know if all in means we're going to pay top tier money to a receiver who is CeeDee Lamb a top 5 wide receiver? I don't think so. I don't think he's top 5. I feel like he'd be right outside of that. But I don't think Jerry Jones is going to break the bank for CeeDee Lamb. I feel like he'll get something similar, maybe a little bit more than what Amon-Ra got. That's why I feel like he'll get like in that range. Jamar, I feel like would get something similar to this contract. I don't know if he gets more than Jetta's, but it'll be closer to it than a CeeDee Lamb, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think Wes is really excited about this. Giving JJ and JJ to get the two J's together, or the two JJs together, and Justin Jefferson and JJ McCarthy, that is. McCarthy will at least have another 4 years of, top wide receiver production at that position. So congrats to Justin Jefferson.
I do think that what you were saying makes sense, Toddy, just in the sense that like Justin Jefferson is one of those absolute top tier receivers. And so, Kevin, I know that you had a great mindset there that, everything worked out. Let's not be upset. But what do you think about Justin Jefferson getting a contract extension with the Vikings and how it probably should have been with the Eagles?
Well, like I told Toddy, he wasn't getting down to Philly. Ain't no way, no how. How we not doing that? You ain't. Nah, how he wasn't doing that. But let's flip this on the other end. Why was Kevin happy to see this deal? Because Howie Roseman said Justin Jefferson's around the corner. I seen the brick trucks; they're backing him up. Let's get these guys in. Let's get these contracts, so we don't have to sit here and pay this kind of money. Yes, AJ Brown and I didn't thought I had to say that. I thought everybody knew. I thought it was just I thought I had it tatted on my forehead. But
yeah,
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are really gonna not. They're not Justin Jefferson. So don't let me get this wrong. But Justin Jefferson's guaranteed money is $110 million, and AJ and Devontae Brown combined is $135. So that's not a bad deal. I mean, that just goes to show how good Justin Jefferson is. That the two players make $25 more million than him combined. So Justin Jefferson, deservedly so. Toddy, there's one thing that you said that really didn't sit well with me. That CeeDee Lamb doesn't deserve this deal. So let me go ahead and give you two stats, and you tell me who.
He had a record year this year. I thought he had a really good year last year.
So we're gonna go. There's just two blank heads, and I'm going to give you stats. You let me know who you guys would pay more. One guy, 4 seasons, 2 Pro Bowls, so 2 All-Pros, 3 Pro Bowls, 395 catches, 5,145 yards and 35 touchdowns. That's player 1. Player 2, 4 seasons, 3 All-Pros, 3 Pro Bowls, 392 catches, so 3 less than the other guy, 5,899 yards. So he has 700 more yards, less catches, and he has 31 touchdowns. So he has 4 less touchdowns. So who would you guys pay at player 1 or player 2?
It sounds virtually.
I'd pay both.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was like, it virtually sounds the same. This is like a trick question that Kevin likes to, weasel and kind of bend to his will.
CeeDee Lamb's obviously the answer here.
I feel like CeeDee Lamb is number 1, so Kevin will probably. It's probably number 1. But I think
meanwhile, a player.
Meanwhile, Gary is being a contrarian, saying, "You got to make me pick one. I want both."
I want to pay both.
So, Toddy, player 1 or player 2? What are we thinking?
Player 1.
Player 1. Shaun, player 1, player 2.
Player 2.
Player 2. Toddy is going with player 1 or 2? I mean, Gary, sorry.
I'm going with whoever had the most everything.
Okay, so you're going with player 1. So player 1 is CeeDee Lamb, the guy that Toddy said isn't a top 5 receiver. So the stats are very, very similar. So for you to say that's kind of crazy. Now I think the CeeDee Lamb contract is 4 years, 130. Like Toddy said, this contract is the ceiling. This is the top. It doesn't get above this. He is the market. So CeeDee Lamb coming off a year he had, you could debate, he could be the second, third highest paid, but Toddy did mention a guy named Jamar Chase, who is up there in the market pool. And I know this is kind of forward thinking, but there's guys like Stephon Diggs on a 1-year deal saying, this is the market. Like Toddy said, you got Brandon Ayuk's. Toddy hit the group chat saying, Kevin, where's the hoorah? Where's the hoo-ha? I'm like, is Brandon Ayuk Justin Jefferson? Did I miss something here? But it's great to see him get paid. Honestly, I was hoping to get him out of the NFC and to spite West a little bit, but happy he's there. And this is the kind of money you get to pay when you draft a rookie quarterback. So
who was player 2?
Player 2 was Justin Jefferson.
Oh. Justin Jefferson.
Give me Justin Jefferson over CeeDee Lamb all day, every day.
He was hurt the majority of last year, so that's why his numbers are down compared to CeeDee Lamb's. But I understand what Kevin's trying to do. He's trying to bend and break and fold it around.
That's where he got you there, Toddy.
He's trying to play some Tetris with us. So.
It was deceiving.
But before you forget, Gary, I got one more. I got a game for you guys. So Toddy mentioned that Nick Bosa was the reigning highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. Can you guys name me the top 5 or other 4 guys that are now the top 5?
Was Aaron Donald one of those guys?
I don't know what he was, but he's not one now because he's retired.
Oh,
so just
okay.
going to the next is the top 5 highest paid players. But obviously, we already know Nick Bosa's one, so the other 4.
Travis
Said
Kelce.
non-quarterbacks.
Non-quarterbacks.
Is
Not
Trey
Travis
Lance
Kelce.
one of those guys?
No.
No.
Who's
Travis Kelce is
second
not
ranked?
on that list.
What's his name? Oh, you already know it's one of the. I think one of the linemen.
Bosa.
Oh, TJ Watt.
Nick Bosa.
Well,
we already said Nick Bosa because you
We ain't
mentioned
paying
that
like
earlier.
that, Shaun. We don't pay like
So
that.
the other 4 guys. So Nick Bosa is 2 on this list.
I feel like a corner is on this list.
No, I feel like
No,
it's
not a corner.
a left tackle for sure, isn't it?
No tackles.
No tackles, really?
Is it
Left
all?
tackle?
Is it all skill?
Can't
What's
give
the
you too many hints now.
What's the D lineman from the Jets? Forgot his name. No,
Quentin Johnson? Not Quentin Johnson. That's the
Quentin Williams.
Quentin Williams.
Oh,
That was him. No,
is it? My God, Myles Garrett.
Mm-mm.
That's
that was a good one.
Guess. Shout out
That
Texas
was
A&M.
Man.
He said
We can just start throwing millions.
The
of names.
linebacker
I feel we got to find a
defensive
direction
player?
though.
Okay, so the other 4 players we have 3 offense, 1 defense.
Oh wow,
Defensive guy.
another receiver. Tyreek Hill's one of them.
Mm-mm.
Waddle gets more than him now.
Oh, I'm in Ross St. Brown is one of them. Then.
Amon Ra is 5.
Okay, yeah, he's on this. Okay, so it's not
So
wide
now we need
receivers. I
1,
know
3,
that.
and now we need 1, 3, and 4.
Some
These
some
are all
center,
these are all non-quarterbacks.
Non-quarterbacks.
non-quarterbacks. And I know it's not a wide receiver.
I feel like it's all
Brown
receivers though.
No,
It ain't running. It ain't running backs. We know that for sure.
You guys giving up when we give you the list?
Yeah, we give
Yes.
it. Go ahead.
You got any more guesses, Toddy?
Is one of them.
I really thought Travis Kelce was a lock, but that was not on the list.
Is it not Travis Kelce?
Mm-mm.
No. That was my first guess.
Okay, so- You got one more? You got one more, Toddy?
Receiver has to be on this list because I feel like it's one of the receivers.
No, I'm gonna say Brown is the
Devontae
second
Adams?
paid.
No.
Yes. Oh, what?
No.
Okay.
So
Whatever.
number 1, Justin Jefferson. I'm surprised nobody guessed that.
What
I
thought we
thought
already
I was
said
already
it?
given that. Yeah.
No, we already gave Nick. Because Toddy had mentioned
I
it
to be honest with you,
earlier.
I already thought that was
Okay,
already given.
And then 3, A.J. Brown. 4, Chris Jones.
So, Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
So
Oh.
it's Justin at 35, Nick at 34, AJ at 32, Chris at 31.75, and Amon Ra at 30.2.
Damn. That's a lot of money.
Non-quarterbacks.
Well,
The
Gary,
ball is-
you just heard right there that Justin Jefferson is now the highest paid non-quarterback, as we have already gotten to. But just what did you think of this move, Gary? Because when it comes to your own fandom, the Steelers don't really have that number 1 guy anymore, but they used to have they used to have CTE ESPN, not on this level, but they used to have Antonio Brown, who recently filed for bankruptcy. Hope things are all right with that guy and his mental health. But the reason why I mentioned Antonio Brown is he was like the last true number 1 that the Steelers had. And I view Justin Jefferson on that level that Antonio Brown once was at. And so do you think this was the right move for the Vikings with their new quarterback?
Yeah, I'm about to be quick, guys. To be honest with you, they better pay him. I ain't got no one else to pay up there. They got a rookie quarterback now. If they didn't want to sell jerseys or bring anyone to the damn stands, they better pay him. If they would have lost him, it would have been looking, unless they would have traded him for something so major, which would have traded their, fix their future in terms of get a lot of assets to help build around the young quarterback. But to be honest with you, this is what they had to do. He's when you pick all pros, you pick once in a lifetime generational type talents or high talents in his department, like Justin Jefferson is. You got to keep those players on your team. I don't know if it's the best way if you're looking from a GM perspective to build your team, because we've seen the teams that have won have, I don't think none of the teams have won in a few years have the highest paid wide receivers. They might pay him after the fact, like Cooper Kupp maybe at the time was the highest paid or whatever after he won the Super Bowl and things of that nature. So I'm not really ringing a bell. We need good wide receivers now, but I don't know about the highest paid ones. So I don't know if that's the formula to win a Super Bowl, but we're in a Viking situation. You're not paying a quarterback, and you don't have that many people to pay. You want to keep assets and guys who bring people sit their butts in the seats. And so I think he deserves it. He's in all types of commercials and things of that nature. He's a well-liked guy, well-respected guy. And if you ever hear him talk too, he's funny too. So I feel like he deserves all his money. He deserves all his money. He's going to keep pushing. I think Kevin said this is the highest it was going to go. I ain't going to go any higher. Shit, you know how NFL goes.
Shit.
Bumping up. So I wouldn't be surprised if the next person, that wide receiver that's really great too, gets a bump up from this. So congratulations to him and the Vikings, man. I think that, I think it's good for what they got right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's gonna be to help them to get to a Super Bowl type thing, but he's a winning player, and we see when he's on the field, he's a game changer. So especially if you don't have a quarterback, if you don't have a quarterback that that's 100% guaranteed good or anything like that, he's a guy who's gonna bail him out a lot. Just throw him the ball, and he's gonna bring it down for you. So that's what you need sometimes when you don't got that guy behind the center. You're gonna need guys to make it up, and he's one of the guys to help you make it up right there.
Yep, he certainly is. As we keep things moving here on episode number 99 of Stats Over Politics, Shaun Holko alongside Kevin Dent, Jaevon Toddy, and Gary Singh. Gentlemen, it's now time to get to the meat of the episode as Jaevon slowly creeps towards his screen, and that is because the 2024 NBA Finals will be between the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. Last week, we spoke to you all after the Mavericks went up 3-0 against the Timberwolves. Ultimately, the Timberwolves did win Game 4 thanks to Karl Anthony Towns finally coming alive, but the Mavericks absolutely stomped them out in Game 5 thanks to Luka Doncic going nuts in the first quarter. And so we get the matchup that we were expecting, at least as of last week, and that is Boston versus Dallas. Jaevon, I'll toss it to you first as our Celtics expert on the panel. But before I do, I just want to read a couple bullet points for those of you who may not realize some of the storylines with this NBA Finals matchup. You have a chance for either Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to get their first NBA championship, or it'll be Luka Doncic. Kyrie Irving's trying to get his second NBA championship. Kristaps Porzingis and Kyrie Irving face their respective former teams. And Jason Kidd is going for a title as both a Mavs player and a coach, as it was noted that the last time the Mavericks, it was said earlier when they played the Heat, the last time that the Mavericks made it to the NBA Finals, and before this year, believe it or not, well, actually, no, it was a couple years ago, but up until the Mavericks made it to the Western Conference Finals a couple years ago, they hadn't won a playoff series since 2011, and so now we see the difference that Luka and especially Kyrie have made with this team. But yeah, Jason Kidd, he led the Mavericks to the NBA Finals the last time that they made it as a player. Now he's trying to do it as a coach. And so, Jaevon, do your best. Put bias aside. How do you look at this series overall?
Feeling going a little bit back and forth on this one. Obviously, Luka Doncic and the Mavs, Kyrie Irving, are on fire essentially. I'd say since about March, like late March. I saw Rachel Nichols say something about them having like a personal team meeting with, I think it was a players only meeting that they had about their defense and how they needed to defend. And I think since I believe it was late March till now, they've been like one of the better defensive teams in the league. So they've really stepped up defensively in this playoffs. For sure, from Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. A lot of people, I'd say, for the past couple of years saying that Kyrie Irving wasn't a good defender. I've always noticed that Kyrie has definitely stepped up his defense in the playoffs. And I've always thought that he's been a solid defender, not like a, all defensive type team, but a guy who you can't really hunt for one-on-ones and for switches. It's not really a guy that you can hunt for in Kyrie Irving. Now the Celtics have been, I believe, the best team in basketball since February, and kind of just been on autopilot ever since then. Each series that they played in has gone no more than 5 games. Now you can say that the East has been battered and bruised, but so have the Celtics. The Celtics have been playing undermanned for the majority of this playoff series without one of their best players in Kristaps Porzingis, who we will see in this NBA Finals. I do think that he could have played in the Indiana Pacers series, but the Celtics obviously ended up sweeping them, going up 2-0, then going up 3-0. You kind of looked at it, was like, now, do we really need Porzingis to win the series? The answer was no. So, I think we'll see him. He's been practicing with the team now for several weeks, and I'm just confident in, obviously Jaylen Brown, who won the Larry Bird Award, which is the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And you had Jason Tatum, who a lot of people were saying he didn't play that well in the Indiana pit. He averaged 30. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. I think the Celtics win probably in 6 games. I wanted to say 5 so bad. But Luka Doncic, man, he's gonna average 35 in the series. That's for sure. I've been going back and forth with our guy Ev. He, like I said earlier in the podcast, he's calling me every day. Waiting until the finals come around. I'm gonna be calling you every day. Him and my cousin, they like to torment me over the phone and say that I don't know basketball and we don't have championship experience. And the only guy that we have on the roster is Drew Holiday, who's the old guy in the room. Who would you rather have? Is it Kyrie or would you rather have Drew Holiday? Obviously, I'd rather have Kyrie. We could have had something special with Kyrie. Kyrie could have been – he was the Celtic. It just got weird at the end, and, he had the thing where he was saying he plans on resigning in the summer, and I was so happy when that video came out. And then, things changed, and obviously went down a shithole. But I think Celtics win at 6.
Burning sage.
I think Luka Doncic is just – I think Luka and Kyrie are probably going to average – Kyrie's going to average probably 25, 27, probably 28 the series. Luka's probably going to average 35. I feel like outside of those two, we have seen P.J. Walker and guys like Derek Jones Jr. kind of be those 2 X factors that have been playing out of this world. And Daniel Gafford has been a guy who's been an X factor as well, who was also acquired at the trade deadline alongside with PJ Washington. So those guys are going to be the guys that will have to step up in this series. As far as the Celtics go, I just think we have a lot of guys who can score the basketball at a high rate. We have obviously Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, who is an all NBA caliber player. After that, we have guys like Drew Holiday who can step up, I believe, on a night in and night out basis. We have guys like Derek White, who for some reason my cousin thinks Derek White is the MVP of our team. You could argue what he brings to the table is essential from just an all around standpoint with defense and scoring the basketball. But I think Derek White's going to be huge for us in the series. And then you have obviously Kristaps Porzingis coming back, who's going to be huge for us. Now the Celtics have been playing well without him, but I feel like with him, they're obviously a cheat code, and he's a huge reason why this team was overall the number one overall rated team in this playoffs and in the NBA. That is so. I got the Celtics winning in 6 games. Now that doesn't mean that Kyrie Irving and Luka aren't going to play their ass off, which I do believe is inevitable of happening because they put the best defensive team in a blender. And that was the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I believe the Celtics are the highest offensive rated team in the NBA. So we're going to see a masterclass from an ISO perspective with Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. All those guys are tremendous ISO basketball players. And I think it's going to be a very exciting series. The Celtics are favored to win the series. I think they're minus 250, 220. I'll look that up once we get one of our guys to come on after I've, done giving my little soliloquy about the Celtics. But I do think that Jason Tatum wins his first ring. A lot of people are saying that, Luka Doncic, man, he's that guy. I feel like his time is coming. I just don't think it's right now. I think the Mavs are going to be a team to watch out for in the future. But as of right now, I do think it's just the Celtics' time, man. Like they've been to the conference finals.
You're praying it's your time.
6 out of 8 years.
It's been time for 8 years.
Been to the conference or been to the NBA finals in 2 of the last 3 years. So I just feel like with those 2 guys and how young that they are and how many playoff games they played together, I think they're like one of the top 3 or 5 guys that played the duo that has played the most playoff games without a championship ring. So Kevin was probably going there. But I think it's just the Celtics' time. They have everything's kind of right in front of them. They just have to go out and take it. So I'm going to go with the Celtics in 6 games.
So for those of you who may not know, and you think about Kristaps Porzingis, and we remember the time that he spent with the Washington Wizards. But fun fact, Apparently, according to the Athletic, the key to winning an NBA title, Gary, is the past 7 seasons. It's been to have a former Wizard on the roster. So you
Both
go
teams got
to
one.
Yeah, exactly. So you go all the way back to 2017-18. You got Shaun Livingston and JaVale McGee that played for Golden State. 2019, Jody Meeks played for Toronto. 2020, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Markieff Morris, they all played for the Lakers. 2021, Bobby Portis played for the Bucks. 2022, Otto Porter Jr. and Gary Payton II played for the Warriors. 2023, you had KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Thomas Bryant, and Ish Smith all on the Nuggets. And then this year, obviously, you have Kristaps Porzingis on the Boston Celtics. And then on the Dallas Mavericks, just recently got traded away from the Wizards, is Daniel Gafford, who has had a great playoff run. And the Athletic, they also credited someone named @Jabari with 4 underscores. So shout out to Jabari, who is clearly a DC fan of all sports. Anyways, that's just a fun nugget that I wanted to mention. Gary, how do you feel about this upcoming NBA Finals? Because I know I already saw your pick. You guys were sending it in the Stats Over Politics fantasy football group chat, so I know where Gary's headed on this, unless he's changed his mind in the last week. But please share it with our listeners.
Well, man, oh man. Guys, I'm just wanting to say I'm glad we have this matchup. For the love of basketball and really the student of the game, this is about to be an epic matchup, in my opinion. And this is about to be epic finals. I think so. And I'm happy at this match, not because I didn't want the Nuggets to be there. I just feel like the Nuggets are playing the Celtics. It's about to be a mismatch just because of how big and dominant they are. So both teams kind of play small ball, even though we know Mavericks have 2 bigs. But like Vaughn mentioned, they have bigs as well that can cope and can tolerate their size as well. Obviously, they got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown as 2 big guards. You also then have the defense of people like he already mentioned, like Derek White and Drew Holiday, Al Horford doing his thing on this team. You know, Vaughn went through all the Celtics great. The whole way have been playing extremely well. And, you know, even though they lost, I think, 2 games on this way, Vaughn, to getting to where they are so far. Like you've been saying, they've been handling business, and people have been, saying that they're supposed to get to this spot, and they can't choose who they're supposed to play. They can't choose who's healthy or not. So at the end, that they're in the championship. Sometimes you get a little luck that bounces your way. Sometimes you don't. They had a little luck bounce their way, and they had to prove it too, and had to get to their team. So they are where they are today. But man, oh man, this Mavericks team has maybe as a Kings fan, I see it from this perspective. Kevin might too. I don't know why. I do feel like they catapulted, if I can say that word correctly. The week the Kings played them back-to-back in a 1-week span, we lost both games by very, very little. And we actually lost, I think, by the Luka game winner where he was talking shit to the sideline to our previous GM, and we all seen that video go viral.
Bet on that game. Shout out to
and so, man, oh, man. After that, I feel like after that, they took the 4th to 5th seed. They had that by the reins, and after they just been on a winning streak because that was post-trade deadline, I believe. And so this team has basically a new identity, and you've seen it throughout the whole playoffs. They literally have 2 players who they play pick and roll with 2 big men who literally know everything and what they're supposed to do, and a rookie who's been playing magical in his own way. They've been playing with guys who were literally thrown in the shitter last year. I think y'all are making jokes about Mr. PJ Washington. I swear to God, y'all were by the
not
work.
because of basketball, though.
Yeah, because of the work, because of the sideline off of the work. And so, whatever you want to call it, his off the field shenanigans, which he got himself caught into. And man, oh man, he is proving every people wrong. It just shows, man, the guys they picked up in Gafford. There's always trade deadline doesn't really work that often. I think we only seen really LeBron teams really work other than that. People who don't really make big trade deadline moves that much, and it usually doesn't pan out unless you need 1 or 2 key veteran, usually pick up here or there. And so then you just see that picking up players who are in bad situations but in the right fit can turn out so wonderfully. And they got a deep bench that people are going to find out about. Derrick Jones Jr. has been playing great. I haven't mentioned Kleba didn't even play that much this series because he's injured. He's been good. Green has been good. Hardaway Jr. has been sitting the bench, and he's also a great player that's probably going to get some pull in the offseason too. So this team, it's going to be nip and tuck, guys. In terms of basketball, like you just mentioned, Vaughn, the best team defensively just got put into shambles. literally, and they were playing great in every which way, and they got put into shambles. And so I just feel like it's going to be close every game. And you guys might hit 1 game, 2 games where they're going to be at the park 3-pointers where they're just not going to be able to catch up to the 3-pointers you guys make and maybe the aggression you guys have and things of that nature. But I just feel like the way Luka and Kyrie play, they're going to have waves. And one good thing I think really good about this matchup is that Tatum and Brown, like the problem was Ant had to guard a lot, as we know. And Tatum and Brown are going to have to guard Luka and Kyrie, but not as much because we already mentioned they got 2 pit bulls right behind them, and Derek White and Drew Holiday are going to be helping them out. So I really feel like it's going to be close games coming down to the very end. And Vaughn, your team has proven in this run a little bit that they can actually handle clutch time. Like this Pacers, they handle clutch time very well, as we know. And that's actually been one of their problems they had previously all year. But before you zoom in any much closer, Vaughn, stop right there, buddy, because this team is about to lose in Game 6. And maybe even Game 7, but I'm going to go with Game 6. I got Dallas. I don't know why it's so disrespectful of them being like this much underdog. I think it should be a 50-50 pick 'em. And because the best player on the floor is Luka Doncic. And the second best player is Jason Tatum. And, yeah, you could say you could throw it up 50-50. Yeah, you probably could. But this run, I do feel like he's playing better. And I just feel like Kyrie in clutch time, they're going to be going for threes. And this team is going to be going for mid-range game winners. Mid-range game winners, Kyrie, Luka, pull-ups, just mid-range shots where they're not going to be able to stop them. And they're going to be taught a lesson where, yeah, you guys think it's your time, and it should be probably your time. And I wish he kind of does give your time because I do feel like the disrespect on Tatum is very high, and I don't think he deserves that much. But at the end of the day, instead of I think it's opposite with Vaughn. He thinks it's Tatum's time. I think it's Luka's time, man. I think it's him showing that he's going to be the best player in the world. He's been on this trajectory for a while. We already know people have been mentioning him low-key, saying he's low-key like LeBron, like James Harden, just so many different players. But he's Luka Doncic, and he's stepping up, and I think he's about to take the reign of best player in the world and the title of that this year. And I think Kyrie's going to help him go along the ride. Last time we seen Kyrie win an NBA championship, that boy was going for 40 balls with Braun to go to Game 7 and win versus the Golden State Warriors. So I don't know. People think that I think Kyrie's going to be this guy. I heard today some people think Kyrie's going to do the other way where he's going to play like, oh, I know how to play with a team now. Look at me playing great with a team. I think he's going opposite. I'm coming into Boston. He said all the right things as he should. You know, he should have played better there, and he should have been a better leader, and all those things he already mentioned that he basically apologized for in a way. And exactly, and they, Jason Tatum, them are showing him love back. He was a great person. It just didn't work out. Whatever. People go through hard times in life, but they found their fit now. He's found his fit now. I think Kyrie Irving's going to show y'all a time. And I know Drew Holiday's coming because he done did some work on him in the Bucks series. Yeah, I remember in the Nets, but this is different from now and then. He got a better crew around him. And I'm not saying Kevin Durant was on that team, so he had a good crew around him. Don't get me wrong. But he has a little deeper crew than around him. He has a maybe slightly better coach around him right now. And so I feel like Jason Kidd has been a player in this moment, and that's going to help be proven because he's making the necessary adjustments, and his coach staff has been great so far this postseason that they're going to make the adjustments to win this series. And the Celtics have been good, but I just don't think they're going to be good enough to beat this Luka Doncic-led team, and I feel like he's on the rise, and I just feel like it's going to be nip or tuck. It's like last year. If it's nip or tuck, give me Kyrie and Luka any day, all the money on the line, every which way.
All right, so far, the panel is split. Toddy got Celtics in 6. Gary has Mavs in 6. Kevin, break the tie. I'll obviously give my pick at the end. But Kevin, break the tie. Make a decision either way. And as some of you might have seen on YouTube, X, and Instagram,
Dallas takes game 1.
The notepad is back. Dallas
takes game 1. Shaun, put it down in Boston.
All right. Dallas. Okay, get it on the notepad. I got you. But I got
don't be surprised if I pick every game this right to this.
We're not losing at home.
For my whole playoff run. Fuck up.
Hey, Gary, aren't you in 3rd place in the pick'em?
I have no clue, dude. I damn gave up on that, dude. Shit,
you gave up on making the right
first,
pick. So
I'm last, Shaun.
But you expect
Kobe
us.
mentality.
But you. All right. Well, you're looking at the guy who's in 1st. So There you go. But hey, man, you were bragging. You were bragging a lot throughout NFL season.
Time,
so I had to.
It took you about 100 episodes. Sheesh.
It sure did.
Up
Hey.
to 100 episodes.
Okay.
99 for being super sure.
About an episode.
Hey, but guess who's on top now?
Yes, sir.
So, anyways, Kevin, please break the tie. Who do you got in the NBA Finals, and tell us what do you expect?
Sit back, Toddy, because I'm gonna break it down for you. So, like Gary mentioned, well, no, let me give Toddy the credit, because we posted a clip today, and Toddy said verbatim, every game was the same. Pacers came up, got up big, and they pissed down their leg. Is Luka Doncic a Pacer? Kyrie Irving?
But on your head.
This ain't the same team, Toddy. You give them a lead, y'all packing the bags for game 2. So the Celtics are 2-0 versus the Pacers this year. I'm talking about the Pacers, the Mavericks this year. Jason Tatum's averaging 36 points, 10 rebounds, and shooting 50, 40, 85 splits. Jaylen Brown's averaging 30 points, 5 rebounds, and shooting 57% from the field. Luka and Kyrie in those games. Luka averaged 35, 15, and 12.
I said
Kyrie
average
averaged 21, 5, and 3. It's going to come down to the other guys. Like Gary mentioned, the Derek Whites of the world, the P.J. Washingtons, the Derek Lively's, the Daniel Gaffords, Derek White, Porzingis, if he's even going to play, the Al Horfords of the world. What are the other guys going to do? Because all 4 of us know for however many games this series lasts, the 4 guys that I just mentioned and the 2 Jays and Luka and Kyrie are going to show up every game. So we know for a fact that they're going to show up for games. So what are the other guys going to do? And I forgot to mention another guy named Drew Holiday. This is the first.
Champion.
You said who?
Champion. He's a champion.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we all got A's on group projects before, right? Anyways, moving on.
Whoa.
This is was he the reason they won?
Oh, he was a big part.
Was he the second reason they won?
He was a big part, yeah.
He wasn't second. So
he had that game-winning block and lob to fucking Giannis.
So we're talking about 2 series in a two plays in a 6-game series.
It matters.
But this is the first NBA, or the Mavericks are the first team since 2010 Lakers to beat 3 50-plus win teams on their way to the playoffs. I know Gary mentioned it. The Celtics don't get to pick who they play. They're not out there hurting players, but let's call it what it is. Every round that they have played, they have missed their best player. There was no Jimmy Butler. There was no Donovan Mitchell. There was no Tyrese Halliburton. We saw Luka Doncic in the first 2 series.
Run first year real quick, Shaun. Remember that? All the point I was getting hurt anyways. It's me.
Yeah. So we've seen Luka kind of really get slow into the playoffs. The first 2 series, all you hear is his injuries that, injuries this. And we have seen Luka really come back. He's been playing more on that left leg, and you can see that he's getting back to his own self. Since February 5th, the 2 best teams in the NBA have been the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. The Boston Celtics since February 5th, 26-6. The Dallas Mavericks, 24-9. This is the first NBA Finals since 2018 with 2 All-NBA players. Can you guys name me those 2 All-NBA players from 2018?
Kyrie,
KD and Steph.
First team All-NBA. Excuse me. First team All-NBA.
Is not KD and Steph? 2018.
KD is 1.
Kawhi Leonard.
no, 2018 was still
2018.
Cavs and Warriors. Steph Curry.
No, so it's KD and LeBron.
Oh, what the fuck?
I'm surprised no one named LeBron. Gary,
I thought you were like
No,
on the same team.
I'm sorry.
yeah, I should log off for that, but Gary, you should be kicked out.
I'm not going to cap to you, brother. I didn't hear it. I didn't want to repeat the question.
It's all good.
Luka Doncic has a chance to rewrite his name in history. The last scoring champ there's been a countless amount of scoring champs to win an NBA Finals, but in the last 10 years, there's only been one, and his name was Steph Curry. Steph Curry went in there and showed that he can carry it over from regular season to postseason, and I believe Luka Doncic is going to do the same thing. I believe that the Mavericks win this in 7. I really wanted to come in here and say 6, but there would be nothing to make my life better than Toddy saying, it's at home. We're not losing at home. Look at all the T-shirts, Kevin. They got the Lombardi in the locker room. And like Gary said, they got 2 mid-range hunters. And when everything comes onto it, number 7 for the Boston Celtics turned into Emmanuel Hansel, and we're going to rock. So I am going to take the Dallas Mavericks in 7. Unfortunately, it's Luka's time. I know Toddy said it's been their time for 8 years now. I think you finally hit your expiration date. It's time for you guys to play a legit team. Like I said, the Pacers and the Mavericks are not the same. They're not going to let you come back. In Game 4, the Pacers were up 10 points with 5 minutes left. Didn't score a single point for 5 minutes. That's not the Mavericks. So, Mavericks in 7.
Well.
Game 7, you know that.
Well, that makes it 2-1, and the 1 is a Boston Celtics fan. So, I don't know how much validity we can put with that. However, I'm not going to discredit his pick. It's now 2-1. That leaves it up to me. And if we include Kevin Denton Sr., that's 3-1 right now. So leaves it to me with my pick. And, even though I don't think that Derek White is the best player for the Celtics, as Toddy's cousin likes to joke with him, he's been extremely impressive throughout this playoff run. 17.8 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, 4.6 assists per game, 1.3 blocks, and with shooting percentages of 47, 41, 89, he leads the Celtics in blocks with 18. And I think part of the reason why he leads the Celtics in blocks is because Kristaps Porzingis has been MIA, missing in action, because he's been hurt. But as Toddy was saying, Porzingis is going to be back. It seems very likely that he'll be back. And as I've said numerous times on this podcast throughout the entire season, Kristaps Porzingis truly is the X factor for the Boston Celtics. And I think with his return, that the Celtics ultimately do win this series. As much as I would love to be a Toddy hater and pick against them, this is Stats Over Politics after all. And I think that the Celtics
you pick
win
the
this
injured
series.
guy to come back and drop him in the finals and think he's going to do something?
He's not going to be a statue. I mean, what do you guys think is going to happen when he comes out? Like, he's just going to sit in the corner?
Dude, you don't just stop playing from the whole playoffs. Regular season. Mr. Injured himself already.
So it's just going to be a non-factor.
Drop Twigman. No, not to be disrespectful. Drop Twigman right into the finals. And guys who've been dunking on people all year, all playoff series long, Gafford and Lively playing real aggressive. And he just gonna walk up in there and just be up. I'm gonna get 30 minutes per game. I'm gonna get back to my 20 and 10. He's going right back to that. Really? All right.
Yeah, really, because you just mentioned Derek Lively, who's hurt.
Derek Lively, 100. The worst takes.
Oh, I got you. But I mean, Gary, you're talking about the worst takes. You're trying to come after me, but you just mentioned Derek Lively, who's hurt. And Derek Lively probably won't even be playing in this series.
But his injury he wasn't out all playoff. He literally missed one game, Sean. One game.
Yeah, and now he's gonna miss the rest of the regular season or the rest of the playoff run.
That's fine, but I'm not talking about players there. Talking about players who aren't there.
But your whole argument.
My argument is you're not dropping some guy who's hasn't played all year into the finals and saying, "Yeah, bro, go 100 now." All of a sudden.
It wasn't all year.
That's literally from 0 to
100. Playoffs, so he's missed the majority.
What games did he play in the playoffs?
He played in the playoffs. He played.
Where? Who did he play?
He played in
2 games?
He played like 2 or 3 games.
Man, I think he might have played 1
series.
Did he though, Toddy? Did he play in that Heat series? I don't
really
recall.
Kev, do you know? Did he play a game?
I don't think.
I know he's been out for a minute, man. I'm not saying you're wrong, Sean. I'm not saying he won't make impact. He's an all-star type player. He's a really great player. He can spread the floor. He's gonna make threes, all the whole 9. I just really wanted that. Like his impact would have been really great if he was there the whole run. Then I can see his impact being great, as Sean mentioned. But I don't think his impact's gonna be that big where you just drop him in there. He's going to get you 20 and 10 back again in the finals. I don't know. I just don't feel like, especially been keeping out this long. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see, Sean. But I just don't feel he's going to be that big of a factor.
Before you pick it back up, Sean, Gary, I'm going to need you to stand back on this Derek Lively shit because I don't know what Sean was saying. He's inching closer. He's going to play. He's not going to miss the whole series.
I was wondering that too. I don't know. The whole series, bro. I know
he's not going to miss the whole series. Maybe a game at most, but he's definitely got to play. You know why?
Arms and legs work, brother.
Where did he go to school, Toddy? Where did Derek Lively go to school?
Duke.
Okay. This is the big – hey, man. This is the Duke show. You think he's not going to show up to the party?
Oh, my God.
Well, I hope that Derek Lively is able to play because I really have enjoyed the story of him honoring his mother throughout this playoff run. And so I really hope that he is able to play. But Gary, you said, oh, yeah, he has arms and legs. But let's not forget, like, that's all connected to the neck.
Porzingis played in the Heat series.
Okay. Thank you, Jaevon. So there you go.
How many games?
4.
4 games?
Right. Played 4 games.
For sure.
So there you go. Jaevon hit the nail on the head that Porzingis has actually played in this playoff run. But, Gary, the whole crux of my argument is Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they are going to get theirs, just like Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are going to get theirs. And I think so. In my opinion, they will. Yes, Jason Tatum will. Okay. Everyone wants to hate on Jason Tatum.
No, I'm the one who literally said he deserves less hate earlier. I literally said that.
But now when
I
I'm
just
feel
like he's not going to be getting the top-notch level just yet. You might get what he's averaging in the playoffs, 26, but you might need 30.
Okay, well, to me, it sounds like you're contradicting yourself because I just said.
No, I'm saying he's going to be great, but is he going to be over the top great to win the championship? That's what I'm saying.
Well, what I was trying to say is that all I said was a very blanket statement that Tatum and Brown are going to get theirs, Doncic and Irving are going to get theirs. And so then you look to the remaining players. I have a lot more faith in a Drew Holiday, a Derek White, and yes, Gary, a Kristaps Porzingis than I
Horford.
do.
Don't even forget him too.
And Horford. And thank you very much, because the whole time that
and
Gary
I'd rather
was
take PJ Washington, DJ Jones, Gafford, Lively, Kleba, Hardaway, every X amount. I take the whole Jason Kidd film on the floor.
You had me, then you Exum and
Exum hit a big three against us, Ken. Missed all damn game. Hit a big three against us. Ended our season, boy. I don't know if you remember that shot.
I will say this: we have seen Kyrie Irving disappear. He kind of took a series off in the OKC Thunder series, and I'm not saying that that's capable of happening in this series, but it's something to watch out for. It's definitely something to watch out for.
Oh my gosh, Heidi, you just teed it up for me. I'm sorry, Shaun. So, Gary, what did Shaun say that those two always show up, right? He said they're going to show up, right? Mm-hmm. So let's rewind time 2 years ago to the NBA Finals.
2 years ago.
Jaylen Brown, 24 points, shooting 40% from the field.
Team,
whoa. He just said the players. He didn't say nothing about me, nothing but us. And then we have Jason Tatum, 20 points, and he shot 36% from the field. So they always show up, right? They were up 2-0 in that one, right, Gary? Or am I confused? We've seen this team.
And I was going for them. They broke my heart.
We've seen this team get to the top, and we've seen them crumble. We've seen the pressure get a little too much. The year before that, we saw Jimmy in Game 7. We've seen this team get to the top. They're right there. They're like the Niners. They get the sweatsuits, and they're like, oh, it's over. We're here. And then they just forget to show up. And I know we haven't seen Luka in the finals, but he's not going to digress like they did in the finals. And I know this is the Warriors we're talking about, but I think they're going to show that the pressure gets hot, you know? So we're going to have to see, but I was just having a rebuttal to Shaun saying that they always show up because we've seen them here and they went home with nothing.
We're tied 2-2. It's going to be a great series, man.
And we can't do that with Luka Doncic because obviously he hasn't been in the NBA Finals yet. As we know, Luka Doncic is like at the very top of playoff scorers in the last 5 years. Yeah. So I did have it in my head correctly.
Defensive players of the year.
As we know, Luka Doncic leads the NBA in playoff points over the last 5 years. He's averaged 31.1 points per game in 45 games. That's more than Dame, KD, Donovan Mitchell, and they are the only players to average 30 points per game in the playoffs over the last 5 years.
And Shaun,
so we know Luka. What's up?
And just to piggyback on that real quick, and I think he played the Clippers 3 times now, and they had Kawhi and PG, quote unquote, the two best two-way wing players every one of those series, and they've lost 2 of those, but goddamn, they learned a Luka lesson for sure.
Yeah, well, Kawhi wasn't there this year, and so I mentioned Luka Doncic because as Mr. Mako makes an appearance,
bam,
he has got with a Celtic fan.
Yep. Toddy had to even the score with Kevin.
I was gonna say we're gonna say Celtics and see if he makes noise. And we're gonna say Mavericks see if he makes noise. But I know Bond during Celtics start and shit.
And so we know that Luka Doncic has historically, since we're Stats Over Politics, we're referencing back on previous stats. Luka Doncic has historically performed throughout the playoffs, and my whole point in explaining all of that is Kevin, you want to look back at 2022 at Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but we could do that same thing for Kyrie Irving of 4 finals appearances, except for 1 year. 2016 is the year that he was up there in the high 20s, maybe low 30s. But if you look at 2015, 2015 he got hurt. Kyrie got hurt in game 1. And so he didn't play through most of that series. But 2017, 2018, I don't think that his numbers were nearly what they were in 2016. You can fact check me, Kevin, because I see the look on your face.
13 playoff or 13 NBA Finals games in his career. 28 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds.
Come on,
So
that's not my point. That's not my point. I was talking about specific years. You can have 2016 inflate those stats, but what were the stats in 2015? What were the stats in 2017?
I got him for you right here.
I'm talking about Kyrie.
Let's see.
Yeah.
That's
So,
disrespectful for saying that.
these are by games. Hold on, let me get my series.
It's disrespectful, Shaun. Don't you think 65% and 34% people are betting, or I don't know what they're doing to think that?
That's Gary. That is
Matchup
ESPN's
predictor?
FPI. That is their FPI. That's their analytics.
Made up magic numbers.
Yeah. So they're still favored by 6.5. Game 1.
You're all favorites.
That's game 1, and so Gary, I already got you on the notepad. Mavs will win game 1 in Boston.
Yeah.
But real quickly, just to close out,
I'll say that the game's probably gonna be closer. I don't know.
I agree.
Vaughn, I'm in the mood to make some money. You want to bet on the series? What's up, brother?
You want to bet me?
Yeah, I want to bet you. Yeah, I want to bet you.
Me? Son, me?
I bet Shaun too. Shaun, put $50 in there. Go ahead.
Nah, that ain't my team. You got me fucked
we'll
up.
We'll go 50-50, me and Kev, for both of y'all.
I'm good.
100.
I'm good. I ain't got money to risk. I ain't got money to risk like that.
All right.
I'll bet you 50, Gary.
All right, 50. I got Dallas, obviously.
All right, sounds good. We got it right here on Stats Over Politics. Virtual shake right there. And so just to close out my quick preview of these NBA finals.
This boy betting everything.
Yes, we have discussed the impending return of Kristaps Porzingis, but if Al Horford has to be the big man for the Boston Celtics, they might not be that far off from what Porzingis might bring in, because if you look at the highest 3-point percentage by a Celtic in the playoffs with a minimum of 200 3-point attempts, Derek White is shooting nearly 40% at 39.9. Al Horford is very close at 39.6. You guys know who's third on that list behind Derek White and Al Horford? And this is with a minimum of 200 3-point attempts. So it's not a small sample size, but Derek White, nearly 40%. Al Horford, 39.6. Any guesses who's third on that list of Celtics all-time 3-point shooters? This isn't Shaun's pop quiz, but any guesses? Mako?
Ray Allen?
Is it Grant Williams?
Gary got it. It's Ray Allen, 38.7. So historically, Derek White and Al Horford are better 3-point shooters for the Celtics in the playoffs. And so I do think that that'll factor in as well. Anyways, you can pick apart my argument all you want, but I got the Celtics in 7. So that officially splits our panel 2-2. And I'm really just basing my pick on the fact that, and Toddy, yep, you got him in 6. But I'm basing my pick on the fact that halfway through this season, following the addition of Porzingis and seeing how well this Celtics team played together once they finally got that chemistry rolling, I thought midseason that the Celtics team would win a championship. They were the favorite all throughout the Eastern Conference playoffs. It was a toss-up on the Western Conference side. And so I'm going with the Celtics. I'm going with the favorite. And that obviously makes Toddy very happy. But anyways, as we move on here on episode number 99 of Stats Over Politics, Shaun Holko alongside Gary Singh, Kevin Dent, Jaevon, and Mako Toddy. We just want to give a quick shout out to Cousin James, who says, "What's up with the guys?" Cousin James in the building. We appreciate you for tuning in on YouTube, Cousin James. As now, guys, it is time for a recurring segment here on Stats Over Politics. Kevin, could you please get us started with our recurring segment?
Yes, I can. So before I did that, Shaun, I did fact check you. So in 2017, Kyrie averaged 29.4, 2016, 27.1, and 2015, 23, but he only played 1 game.
Wow. Okay. So 2017 was actually higher than 2016. That surprises me. But hey, thank you for doing that.
Oh, of course. So, Gary, I really wanted to swing this to Toddy first, but we'll have to do a different question. We're going to have to switch. Oh, never mind.
He's back.
The man is back. So, Toddy, I'm going to throw it to you first. Fact or cap? this is going to hit home for Toddy. A couple weeks ago, he had mentioned this player. Not one, not five. He's in there, Kev. He got to be. So I'm going to swing it to you first, Toddy. Factor cap. Anthony Edwards is a top 8 player in the NBA.
Top 8
is so
Top
specific.
8.
Yeah. Back.
Let me hear it.
Okay. Jokic. Probably Luka.
Toddy didn't do his homework.
Embiid. Tatum. Shit.
Giannis.
Oh, Giannis is in there.
Curry. LeBron and KD.
And
Sabonis.
shut up. Shea.
Sorry.
8. Top 8.
So, do you remember the list to run it back for us?
So then you put in Edwards.
I said Jokic, Luka. I said Tatum, or I think I said Embiid, Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
5 was I think I said Steph. Oh no, I said 5 was Giannis, 6 was Steph, 7 was Ant, 8 was Shea. So I don't have LeBron as a top 10 player. No.
Or KD.
Or KD. No. Never.
All right, Gary.
I like Book is top 10 too. I feel like Book's
Top 10 right now. Top 10 going next year.
KD's probably like
what is
10
this?
right
Just
now.
top 8 right now. Top 8 right now.
Top
So
8
factor
right
cap.
now.
What?
Anthony Edwards.
So I'm
is a
thinking top 8
player
going
in
to
the
next
NBA.
year. See, I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to do a Vondes. We count LeBron, Curry, and KD. Like I feel like those should be like what Tom Brady was at the end of this.
Everybody got their
like,
own list.
I'm just wondering, can we put them on the side or can we not count these three?
Well, Gary, to respond with a question to your own question, it's just really a matter of, do you still consider LeBron James to be a better player than Anthony Edwards right now?
Yes. If you have to count the old regime and the old OGs in the game, like I just mentioned, Curry, KD, and LeBron, I think the list that Vaughn just mentioned, I feel like all the playoffs, yes. But next year, I still think those guys still have championship caliber in them. Special basketball IQ wise, is the knowing the game, things of that nature. They might not have the same impact defensively as much as Anthony Edwards has at this point. But I'm just taking the pure fact that Anthony Edwards is great, and I think he will end up be in the name and the running of best player in the world in the coming up years. But to answer this question, especially if he would have won this championship and things of that nature, he for sure had to be top 8 player right now. But I'm about to go with Cap at the moment just because I got Giannis still there, Embiid, Luka, Curry, LeBron, KD, and that's not even. I think I didn't, and I do still have. So now the last spot actually is kind of a toss-up. If I just the other people I just named, the last spot is kind of it is a toss-up to my opinion. So actually, I'm kind of rewinding now. It's always a preference for this last spot because I'm at 7, obviously, and we still have Ja,
is 22
SGA,
years old, and Steph, LeBron, and KD. All those guys are like 35.
Yeah, but I'm talking about next year. Though I'm not talking about
the Dangler is like right outside. Right outside.
SGA,
I feel like next
Edward,
year's time he'll be in there.
Fox, Booker. I got those top 5 right there around each other. I know I named Fox, but I just felt he had a great year, and I feel like he still obviously didn't have the playoff stuff like he had last year to show his brilliance. But I still feel like he's in that realm in some type of way. But the last spot, I'm gonna say fact. I'm gonna give Ant Edwards. I changed my mind. I'm gonna give fact. Ant Edwards is a top 8 player right now. I think this playoff run solidified it. Him bringing his team to be a top 3 seed in the West solidified it. Him being his leader. I just don't want to take him over those OG players just yet because, as you can see, it takes years. It takes playoff experience. It takes one brick at a time to get to that next level. So he had to take his lick after being the champions. But after proving to beat the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic, with his team, I feel like he has proven that he is a top 8 player right now. So I got him right at that 8th spot probably. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be mad if anyone says he wants to think that he's better than Tatum, think that he's better than Embiid, think that he's better than Curry or any of these guys. Because the way he performed this playoff run, he deserves the respect and the trajectory to for sure be on the greater path of them as those guys right now. Obviously, career-wise, can't even touch those guys in terms of championships and all the stuff they got. But in terms of just what they got coming into next year and what they got in terms of trajectory going up and everything just pointing up for him and the way he's already proven so far in this playoff run, for surely, I think just going off the list I just said right there, I for sure think it's fact he's top 8 player right now.
All right, Shaun, we have 2 facts. I'm going to bring it to you next. Fact or cap? Anthony Edwards is the top 8 player in the NBA.
So when I first thought of this question, I thought to myself, yeah, this is probably a fact. Anthony Edwards is a top 8 NBA player. Then I started making my own list. I got 7 that I got locked up ahead of him. Then the 8th is the question for me. I would probably give him the edge, but it's really questionable for me on who that 8th guy would be. But in no particular order, in front of Anthony Edwards, I have Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. Those are the 7 that I have in front of him locked up. I would even consider Jason Tatum there ahead of him as well, even though all the haters are like, oh, Jason Tatum's not giving me 30 every night. He sucks. But,
even though he averaged 30 last year, the only Celtic player to do that. But that's okay, Shaun. Keep going.
Right. And so I'm going to pencil Tatum in that top 8 ahead of him. And so I think I actually just talked myself out of my original answer because the question mark at the 8th spot for me between Anthony Edwards and another guy was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, top 3 MVP candidate this season. I'd probably give it, and first team All-NBA. I'd probably give Edwards the nod over SGA right now just because I really like the defensive ability that he has. I mean, he said it himself that he locked up Jamal Murray. And so I would probably put Edwards ahead of SGA, but I'm not going to put him ahead of Jason Tatum. And so, I mean, we talked earlier about the way that Kevin frames some of these questions. Top 8, it's cap. Top 9, it's a fact.
It's a fact. He's a dog. I just thought about it.
So we are 2-1, and let me go ahead and be that man to tie us up. Fact or cap? Anthony Edwards is a top 8 NBA player? Hell no. I can name you 13 guys better than Anthony Edwards today.
Oh God.
So you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Is Jalen Brunson better than Ant?
Nope.
Jalen Brunson?
Nope.
So I mean, Jalen Brunson had no.
He had a great year.
Great year on the team.
Nope, not the impact.
Carrying teams
defensively. Yep, dog mentality. Nope. Not dog. Yes, for sure. Defensively, nope.
Close.
So I'm going to take Jalen Brunson. I'm going to take Kawhi over Ant.
Hell no. Sorry.
I'm going to take AD over Ant.
Oh my God, brother.
I'm going to take Giannis over Ant. That's 5. Yeah. I'm going to take KD over Ant. That's 6.
KD's old.
Steph. That's 7. Joker. That's 8. Yeah. Joel. That's 9. Jason. That's 10. Shai. That's 11. 12. That's Luka. And 13 is LeBron James. Yeah, I'm taking him because the only reason you guys are taking Ant over there, the reason Ant's getting his hype is because he led his team to the 3rd seed, right? What did SGA do?
And to the Western Conference Finals.
They were top 3 and they weren't 2 or 3.
And Western Conference Finals. And they were pretty identical records now, Kevin.
But let me tell you this. Is Cat better than Giddey? Or not Giddey? Is Cat better than Chet Holmgren? Yeah. Is Cat better than Jalen Williams? Yeah.
Not the way you was talking. I ain't taking that from you, Kev. You was talking shit. Y'all hate Cat. Y'all both hate Cat, so don't be trying to suck him.
He has an all-star teammate. SGA's doing it by himself with a kid who's a bunch of age.
Hell no, he ain't doing it by himself. You got the 1 number 1 pick, damn near Holmgren, and you got a whole bunch of other studs they picked up. Oh, hell, he ain't doing it by himself.
Are any of those studs Karl Anthony Towns?
And all I know, they all lost to Luka.
Or an all-NBA Jalen, or all-defensive Jalen Williams, or Jalen McDaniels? I'm just saying, Ant has a lot of things circling around him, but if we're going to go player for player, SGA top 3 MVP. Let me ask you guys this. When's the last time Anthony Edwards was first team All-NBA?
He's also
He just-
22.
he just-
Wait,
he
is my
just-
is
he
my
just-
is
he
my
just
mic broken?
entered his prime.
I don't
Never.
think I'm hearing. Never.
It
It's
did
working now.
glitch right
It's
there.
working now.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Kevin.
It's working now.
Yeah,
But
he's 22.
top 8, absolutely not. And like Shaun mentioned, I twisted this. Originally it was top 10, but I had to adjust it because I feel like he could be top 10. But top 8 as of right now, I'm not going to jump on
I
the recency
guarantee next year,
bias
this time,
bus.
Kev, you're gonna be saying top 5.
You're crazy out of your mind.
Guarantee.
You're crazy out of your mind. Who is he taking out of top 5?
Everybody on this damn list. And
So
be
let
don't
me-
win a
all right,
championship. Boot your ass
Let's
out.
do this. Let's
You
do
live-
this.
I don't
Let's do
come.
this.
Boot your ass out.
I'm going to tell you the
All
first
old
team
heads
All
gone.
NBA.
He just-
I'm going to tell you the first team All NBA. You let
Bye-bye.
me know who Anthony Edwards takes out.
Kevin Durant.
Giannis? Does he take out Giannis?
Devin Booker just took him out.
No, hold on. Listen to the question. This is the first team All NBA. These are the 5 best players. You let me know who Ant's taking out. Is he taking out Giannis next year?
Could.
I need a yes or no.
Yes.
No.
All right, Luka.
No.
Shea.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Yes.
The Joker.
No.
No.
Jason Tatum.
Yes.
Hell no.
He's staying.
No.
Only reason he's staying in there because he's in the East. If that
So
player
now
same
it
position,
depends
he's
on
on
where
the
they
West.
live.
Don't matter. It doesn't matter
Don't matter
because he's
where they
the
live.
West now.
Doesn't matter.
It's just top 5 players in the
Oh
NBA.
yeah, and I'm just no. He's out. I'm saying you're getting your shit boosted in the East. Well, record wise, everything wise,
Okay.
everything
All right.
boosted.
That's
Everything
fair.
the
was
All
fair.
NBA was a team award because Shea made it first team last year and they were in the play-in. But I mean, I could be
No,
confused.
but you get boosted by the what conference you're in if you're playing horrible teams. There's 10 more worse teams in the East. You get to
Just
play
saying,
Charlotte.
For you to be a playing team All NBA first
We're
team.
the best team in the whole NBA. So I mean, that's easy.
Yeah, and what you play what the most? The East, right?
Bro.
Bubbling up your damn record.
this year. So I mean,
Bubbling, yeah, once,
But
not
you
twice,
know what?
Sean.
We are
Not
moving
three
on.
times.
We are 2-2. Gary
Oh,
and Toddy
save this
said-
take, y'all.
Gary
And
and
Edwards
Toddy
top
said,
5 next year. Remember that.
Right
Boy,
now,
this
Sean,
is the same guy that said Ben was better than AD. God,
And that
damn.
playoff run he did, run that back.
No
he
one
did have a
believes
playoff
you
run.
then.
And we're talking about literally he's been playing better than him. He's been playing better than this year.
Okay, so let me just name you the whole NBA second team. Anthony Davis. Bam Adebayo third team. Nope. Fourth team. Nope. 15th.
And he's
Honorable
getting
mention.
disrespected. Yeah, I thought he's getting disrespected.
Oh, and didn't make an All NBA team this year.
He made second team.
Second. Yeah.
May I interject real quickly? I gotta put on my Molly Curum hat like she was on First Take today. Please let me do my job for the notepad. Just for the notepad, real quickly. Gary, you said that Anthony Edwards will be a top 5 player in the NBA next season. So should I basically just pencil him in as a first team All NBA guy? Because that's basically what Kevin was asking.
Basically, yeah.
But I want to make sure. I want to make sure whatever I write down is exactly what you're saying. So then, if this becomes a freezing cold take, Gary's not like, "Well, I didn't actually say it that way. I said
The
it."
only reason he won't is if he's in politics, bro. Politics,
Okay.
maybe loving SGA a little more because he didn't get the MVP this year.
Just say week
All
one.
right.
Boo-hoo.
Celtic or
Give him a kiss
Steelers
next
versus
year.
Niners.
Anthony Edwards will make All NBA first team in the 2024-25 season. Got you. Anyways,
But
I'm sorry,
Kelsey,
Kevin.
you
Go ahead and continue.
Now we're gonna be moving on. So Toddy, I'm gonna swing this to you last. Please save the facial expressions. Let's get through the first 3 guys,
Hold the applause.
and we'll get going. So Shaun, I'm gonna swing it to you first. Fact or cap? Luka and Kyrie are the best duo in the NBA Finals.
This is cap because if I recall, and I could be wrong, as I was with Kyrie stats earlier. So, granted, I could be wrong here, but if I recall, Kyrie Irving, despite making it to 1, 2, 3, now 4 NBA Finals, has he won a conference Finals MVP yet? Has Kyrie Irving won a
The award
conference?
didn't exist, but I like where this is going, Sean.
So as long as we can use this in the LeBron GOAT debate, I'm all in. In-season MVP, I'm with all that shit.
Well,
I hope I got like 10.
Well, all I'm saying is that Jason Tatum won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP in 2022. Jaylen Brown won it in 2024. Obviously, Luka Doncic won it in the West this year. But Kyrie, okay, whether if it existed or not, Kyrie hasn't done it yet. Kyrie also didn't win NBA Finals MVP, the one championship that he has won.
There's no
So-
way. he won it.
No, there is no way.
He
but-
got an all-star MVP.
Kyrie would have had
Ooh,
to
man.
average 60.
Well, he was right, especially in that game 5. It was like 41 and
Got a
44
goal
or whatever. But anyways,
Counted.
just to keep this brief on my end, because I do have one more segment for after this. This is Cap. Luka and Kyrie Irving are not the best duo in the NBA Finals because it's clearly Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown who are going to get theirs, Gary. They're going to get theirs, Kevin.
This time. All right, Gary.
Look at Shaun fully hopping on the
Gary.
Celtics bandwagon. Vaughn, you got somebody.
You guys gave me no choice. Sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
You're all good. All right, Gary. Factor Cap. Luka and Kyrie are the best duo in the NBA Finals.
This is tough. It depends how you're looking upon it. If you're looking upon it as everything encompassed, I'm going to have to say Cap if I'm going to say everything encompassed. But I'm just going to take it, like you said, in the NBA Finals. I ain't talking about defensively. I'm not talking about what they're going to going forward, who you want going forward. Obviously, the younger and all that whole stuff. Experience the NBA Finals, this run they're on right now. I want Luka and Kyrie. Fact, I feel like they're the best duo in the NBA Finals. Just for the pure fact, as I said, the run they're on, the hot streak they're on, the way they're both playing off each other, they know exactly what each other need. They both are carrying the load when needed. When closing time calls, they know who's hot. They know Kyrie knows when they need a little push from him to push the button. When Luka needs to know him to push the button. So I'm not saying Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't, because they're the two. This is really this nitpicking, really, to be honest with you. And obviously, I'm really, to be honest with you, leaning because I picked Dallas. So I don't think, and I think their duo is going to average more points, and that's why I think they're going to win. So, in terms of points, in terms of clutchness, in terms of rising to the moment, in terms of experience, maybe in terms of basketball IQ, all these little things, they beat this. They beat the Tatum and Brown matchup slightly, just slightly. I feel like, and yeah, I think that's why I got Luka and Kyrie as the best duo in this NBA Finals. But I wouldn't, like I just said, slightly. I wouldn't say it's by a landslide or anything like that, because the other two guys deserve their credit. I know we're just bantering and messing around, talking a lot of smack right now because it's that time of the year. But that team got two pit bulls in their team, and Jaylen Brown's been proven that he could be a number one guy himself, maybe, especially because the money he got paid, and he's proven that he deserves every penny of it. So. I got Luka and Kyrie being the best duo in this NBA Finals, and I got them in Game 6.
So we are 1-1. Assuming all four of us, I speak for the three of us, that we all know Todd is going to go with the Celtics. So inevitably, we'll be 2-1, and I am the tiebreaker. So factor Cap, Luka and Kyrie are the best duo in the NBA Finals. This is a hard cap. This is a hard-hitting fact because, one, Luka's the best player in the Finals.
Yep.
And let me give you the numbers throughout the playoffs. Jason Tatum, 26 points, 10 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, 25, 6 rebounds. We have Luka Doncic with 34, 9, and 9. And you have Kyrie at 24, 5, and 5, or 25, 5, and 5. So this is called Stats Over Politics. I'm not just hating because Toddy's a Celtics fan. This is the best duo. This is the best offensive. This is the best duo in the NBA Finals. I don't want to be too long-winded because I know Toddy's got to come on here, and I see it in his face. I told him to hold the facial expression. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you'll see he's been itching. He's been itching. So I'm gonna swing it over to him next, but this is for sure a fact. I think Luka and Kyrie are the best duo in the NBA Finals. Before I swing it over to you, what you got, Gary?
I was gonna say, just in terms of point value too, real quick, Vaughn. Assist wise, Luka's getting 10 himself, and Brown and Tatum ain't getting 10 assists. Hell no, not no disrespect. That ain't their game that much. Like, they're gonna get assists. Don't get me wrong, but they're not getting an easy 10 like Luka's about to get. So I just bumps up the scoring if you want to count overall scoring production is gonna create. But go ahead.
All right, Toddy. Should I just say cap or cap? I guess. Factor Cap. Luka and Kyrie are the best duo in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, this is a cap. I'm going all around. I think Kyrie and Luka are offensively like one of the best duos ever. Like from an offensive standpoint, Luka is a lot of people. I mean, we've heard Jason Kidd compare him to Michael Jordan. Kyrie is up there. Obviously, I don't know if it's a secret or not, but Kyrie Irving is obviously my favorite basketball player in the NBA. So it's like paining me to say this, just because Kyrie Irving is offensively one of the best basketball players ever. Like, he's in that I believe he's an NBA top 75 best basketball
Easily
ever.
should have been.
So I'm looking at it from a standpoint of the two Jays who averaged close to 30 in the last series. From a defensive standpoint, being able to pick up big defensive assignments. From a rebounding standpoint, Jason Tatum is one of the best rebounders in the NBA. From a scoring standpoint as well. So I'm looking at it from in a totality standpoint, offensively, defensively, rebounding. I think it's the Jays. Their success at the age that they're at as a duo is slim to none compared to a bunch of other duos in NBA history. So I think there's really no other way to look at it. I get Luka. What Luka and Kyrie have been able to do in a short span of time has been remarkable. I think we all kind of knew what they could be from how gifted they were from an offensive standpoint. And when they were, paired together, I believe it was almost 2 years ago at the trade deadline, we wanted them to be what they are now. And I always go back to my oven theory. I think I said it on last week's pod that you kind of had to let it bake in the oven a little bit and, let these guys get a full offseason together and kind of gel. And even in, late this season, they weren't one of the best teams in the league. They were kind of hovering in that 6, 7, 8 range spot, as a lot of Western Conference teams were, as how competitive the West has been over the last couple of years. And then they kind of just caught fire in the playoffs. And they've shown to be one of the most offensively skilled duos that we've ever seen. But in a totality standpoint, the success that the two Jays have had at this young age that they have it, that they have had it at, and the experience, the scoring, the defense, the passing. I'm just looking at it from a totality standpoint. I do agree with Kevin that Luka Doncic is the best player in the series, but I do believe that the Celtics have the best duo. So I'm going to say that this is a cap. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are not the best duo in the NBA Finals.
All right. Well, that does it for Factor Cap this week, gentlemen. But before we get out of here, I think it's time, guys. I think it's time to bring it back because you have all four of us here. I lied. I lied.
Dude, I had a feeling.
I lied. When I said it, I wasn't lying because I did not have shit prepared. But then I looked at my Twitter bookmarks, and I've been saving shit for months. So I wanted to get a couple of timely things out here for Shaun's Pop Quiz. And so
can I get a scorecard? What's the score?
I got you, Kevin. I was just about to get to that because we have not had Shaun's Pop Quiz since the first week of March. March 4th was the last time that I updated my Apple Notes. And Shaun's Pop Quiz in Season 2, because as we know, Kevin was the reigning champion. Lonely at the top, getting quite chilly because he was there for such a long time by himself. So Kevin was our champion of Season 1 of Shaun's Pop Quiz, but he has yet to participate in Season 2. The active, and after we had a couple episodes without Kevin and I was doing Shaun's Pop Quiz, that's when I realized, just as much as Gary was complaining throughout Season 1, we can't have a lot of DNPs because then it's unfair and it kind of skews the scorecard. And so the scorecard is after 2 Shaun's Pop Quiz, but Kevin currently has a DNP on it. Our guy Kaz actually has 2 points that he picked up. One of those.
Just give it to Kev.
Shout out to Kev.
I want to earn it. I got to earn it myself.
Oh, I love that, Kevin. But shout out to our guy Kaz. And so now the official score is Kevin technically has 0 right now. Kaz has 2. Toddy has 8, and Gary has 9. So Kevin, I'm going to throw it to you first on this one.
I don't know if you remember that episode. I went crazy one episode.
Yeah, you did. You literally got 5, 6. You stole a couple of Toddy's questions. And so Gary is currently in the lead with 9. Toddy got 8. Kaz got 2. Kevin currently has a DNP, but we're going to change that tonight. So Kevin, I'm tossing this to you first for Shaun's Pop Quiz. The first 2 are NBA Finals related. The third is the NFL related. I only got 3, but that's what we got for this week. And so, Kevin, this first question has 3 answers. Kevin, I will give you a chance to get all 3, so you can pick up 3 quick points. And then whatever you don't get, it goes on to, as we know, just to review the rules of Shaun's Pop Quiz, since it's been a minute, it's been over 3 months. Just to review the rules, for everyone else whose question it isn't assigned to, they can put up a finger or they can say, hey, I got it, or whatever, and then they get dibs on stealing it. But this is Kevin's question. Kevin, here it is. Luka Doncic is the 4th player in NBA history to record 450 points, 150, I see you, Gary, 150 rebounds, and 150 assists in a single postseason. Who else has done it? So I'll read the question one more time before we get Kevin's guesses. Luka Doncic is the 4th player in NBA history to record 450 points, 150 rebounds, and 150 assists in a single postseason. Kevin, who else has done it? There's 3 other guys.
So Shaun knows my favorite player, so I think that's why he threw it to me. So I'm going to guess LeBron James.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. LeBron James did it 6 times. 6 times for LeBron James. So Kevin gets a point. So Kevin's on the scoreboard. All right, Kevin, you got 2 more guesses for the other 2 players.
This the assist. The Joker?
That is correct. Ding, ding, ding.
It's easy.
Nikola Jokic did it last year in 2023. So that's 2 points for Kevin. You got 1 final guess, Kevin. And since you're on a roll, I won't give you any hints. You just got 1 more guy. So Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic have all recorded at least 450 points, 150 rebounds, and 150 assists in a single postseason. But Kevin, who's the 4th guy?
Fuck. It's the assist. I only get 1 guess?
You only get 1 guess, and then it moves on to Gary, and then Jaevon.
Because I think I know, but I don't think it's right.
Go with your heart, Kevin.
Yeah, go with your heart. We need an answer.
There has to be a Celtic player in here, yeah?
I told you I would not give any hints.
Thought he was
Not
right.
Rondo.
5, 4,
Larry?
3. Ding, ding, ding!
Fuck
Kevin
yeah! Sorry, I'm
gets
sorry.
back. Ladies and gentlemen, our champion from season 1 has stormed back in, gotten all 3 answers correct. Larry
Coming in
Bird
hot,
did
kid.
it. Larry Bird did it in 1987. So Kevin comes in, gets all 3 points that he has a chance to get. Suddenly, even though Kaz is a regular guest, he's not on the panel all the time. So Kevin, you already are ahead of Kaz, as Kevin now has 3, Kaz has 2, and Toddy has 8. Gary has 9. So Toddy, since you are in 2nd place, this next question is coming to you. So Jaevon, the Mavericks are the first team in 14 years to beat 3 50-plus win teams in 1 playoff run. Kevin, I see you. Who did it last? So, Jaevon, I'll repeat the question one more time for our audio-only listeners. The Mavericks are the first team in 14 years to beat 3 50-plus win teams in 1 playoff run. Who did it last, Jaevon?
Oh, the last team to do it?
The last team to do it. The Mavericks are the first team to do it in 14 years. And what did they do? They beat 3 50-plus win teams in 1 playoff run.
Yeah, OKC when they went on their run to the finals.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
That is incorrect. So there's only 1 answer. So this goes to Kevin first because he already signaled Gary. Then it's coming to you after if Kevin can't get it. Kevin, you get 1 guess. Who is the last team to beat 3 50-win teams in 1 postseason?
I'm upset, Toddy. I said this in my soliloquy. This was on my notes. The Lakers, baby.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. The Los Angeles Lakers did it in 2010. And Toddy, I tried to help you out by saying the first team in 14 years. So just subtract.
Do the math. I was doing the math right now.
Back to 2010. Who made it to the finals in 20?
Right now, Shaun.
Who made it to the finals in 2010? It was either the Lakers or the Celtics.
That's crazy.
Come in, fellas.
Well, Kevin certainly is coming in hot as Kevin now gets another point. He now has 4. And so, Gary, this final question is coming to you. And as I mentioned earlier, it is an NFL question. So we have now
Great. I get stumped with the NFL one now.
we have now. Well, I mean, honestly,
It's NBA edition. Dude.
I know that I was the one that created this quiz, but I even feel confident that I would get this question. I think it's pretty easy. Jaevon, you of all people, I think will nail this one. I probably have already said too much. However, here's the question for Gary. So, final question of Shaun's Pop Quiz for episode number 99. Gary, the Chicago Bears will be on Hard Knocks starting August 6th. Who was the last number 1 overall pick rookie quarterback to be featured? I see. Toddy got you by half a second, Kevin.
I don't even watch this, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Damn.
All right, Gary.
I think I know. I'm gonna guess though.
Well, let me read the question one more time for the audio-only listeners, because once you give me an answer, it is final. So the Chicago Bears will be on Hard Knocks starting August 6th. Who was the last number 1 overall pick rookie quarterback to be featured? Gary, what's your final answer?
Andrew Luck.
That is incorrect.
All right.
So, Toddy, you beat Kevin by half a second. He's leaning in. We might as well just get the Shrek meme ready to go.
Bust me, bro.
Toddy, let me read the question one more time for the audio-only listeners. The Chicago Bears will be on Hard Knocks starting August 6th. Who was the last number 1 overall pick rookie quarterback to be featured on Hard Knocks, Jaevon?
Johnny Manziel. He went number 1. I'm tripping.
Baker Mayfield.
Ding, ding, that is correct. And that's why I realized right when I said it.
As soon as you said that, I was like,
I kind of gave the answer away and I regretted it, but I
wasn't thinking at all, man. Which Toddy was thinking, to be honest.
And Toddy beat Kevin by half a second. Otherwise, Kevin probably would have come in here and gotten every single answer.
I should have thought he was entertaining. That's why I said Johnny Manziel. I'm like, nah, he wasn't number 1, though.
All right, so Toddy gets the point. Gary and Toddy are now tied with 9, but Kevin has come in hot, getting 4 questions.
I'll enjoy my
in
lead.
his debut of season 2 of Shaun's Pop Quiz. So well done, Kevin. Well done, Jaevon. Gary, can't say as much for you. Anyways,
I will shine bright once again.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen, before we get out of here for episode number 99? I'm excited for episode 100 next week. Just for everyone who's still tuned in right now, we appreciate all of you who have made it this far with us, not only to 99 episodes, but also nearly 2 hours into today's episode. I will say, in addition to talking about the NBA Finals next week, we also will be revisiting all the hot takes, all the cold takes, and everything in between from our first 100 episodes of not Shaun's Pop Quiz, but of Stats of Politics. I got the notepad. It's only halfway full because this was like page 3. We got multiple pages of the notepad. We have all of Kevin's social clips for us to review, and we're going to bring our best takes and our worst takes to episode number 100 next week. But guys, before we get out of here, anyone have any final thoughts?
There's 2 games in between, Thursday and Sunday?
I believe so. Yes, that is correct.
So we'll be up by next Monday, guys.
Mavericks up 2-0.
1-1.
Thankfully for us, we will be back next Monday at 7 p.m. No late night episode this upcoming Monday. I haven't looked at the NBA final schedule. We may have to do that for episode 101 if it gets to that point.
Well, it'll be worth it.
Whoa, it certainly will. And we will be joining. Yeah, Toddy's like, nah, it'll be over by then. That does it for episode number 99. Make sure to give us a like on YouTube. It helps us a lot. And if you enjoy the podcast, hit subscribe to get notifications when we go live. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at StatsOverPolitics and on X at StatsOrPolitics. See all the great content that Kevin's putting out there, as well as our NBA Finals picks starting Thursday. Let's see if I can close it out on top or if I'm going to choke the lead away to Toddy again. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on all podcast platforms. If you're enjoying the show, give us those 5 stars. We'd really appreciate it, as you guys have been tuned in to episode number 99 of Stats Over Politics. For my guys, Jaevon Toddy, Kevin Dent, and Gary Singh, I've been your host, Shaun Holko. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for episode number 100, as Brother Jesse says in the YouTube comments, 100 of them things. We're looking forward to it, and we'll see you all then on another episode of Stats Over Politics.
Yes, sir.